Hello everyone, welcome to weather. The Meteorological Service continues to advise fisherfolk and mariners to be cautious, especially during high tide. Spring tide remains in effect, so high tides will be higher than normal at 3:45 a.m. and 8:45 a.m. on Wednesday. So persistent strong winds are also contributing to rough seas. So on the satellite imagery, we have low-level clouds streaking across Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the remainder of the Eastern Caribbean. Now looking at the weather map, we see a very active pattern typical of El Nino. A surface high pressure in the central Atlantic is responsible for windy conditions across the Eastern and Central Caribbean. So fresh to strong easterly winds in the Caribbean Sea are blowing over a long stretch of open water from the central tropical Atlantic Ocean. Now this long fetch is increasing wave heights near 3 meters, creating choppy to rough conditions, in particular along the Atlantic shorelines. And over the central Caribbean Sea, the Meteorological Service of Jamaica maintains a strong wind and large wave advisory offshore Jamaica's south coast. So dangerous sea conditions for small boats continue around Jamaica midweek. Meanwhile, hazardous conditions for small craft also exist for Puerto Rico. A small craft advisory for large 3-meter wave exists offshore Atlantic waters of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands until Friday. Now back at home, today's high at Piarco was 32 degrees Celsius. Currently, it's now at 29. Meanwhile, Crown Point was 31.2 degrees Celsius earlier today. And this evening, it's now at 29 as well. So tonight in Tobago, you can expect a fair night despite the brief isolated shower, mainly near dawn, with a nighttime low at 24 degrees Celsius tonight at Crown Point. Similarly, Trinidad too can watch for fair conditions with a stray nighttime shower. Overnight, the minimum temperature should drop to 23 degrees Celsius in Piarco, and for those living in valleys, however, lows could drop a couple of degrees lower than 23. Now for Wednesday, Tobago, you can expect generally sunny skies with breezy conditions around and a high at 32 degrees Celsius. Wednesday's maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius will be felt nationwide. Factor in humidity due to a few brief isolated showers around. However, you may feel like it is 34. So similar conditions are likely for Thursday, with not much change expected on Friday. So look for an initially sunny and breezy Friday morning, but then becoming partly cloudy with few isolated showery spells expected by Friday afternoon. Now, mariners look for waves from 1.5 to 2.5 meters offshore and below 1 meter in sheltered bays, but occasionally choppy in Atlantic waters. And spring tides are also in effect, so high tides will be higher than usual on Wednesday, which will be at 3:45 a.m. and 3:01 p.m., with low tides at 8:45 a.m. and 9:51 p.m. Ending off now, be careful if out at sea as spring tides remain.